Hi, this is Dr. Scott, and today we're going to get into a kind of different conversation. What I want to talk about is due process. Now, Senator Langford here in Oklahoma brought up an interesting conversation. He was talking about due process related in specifically in relation to illegals, excuse me, and illegals. But listen to the turn of phrase, and I'm going to show you how the J6ers and social media people have not been given due process whatsoever. And it pisses all of us off with that too. So listen to this one.
Some people see due process like as an American citizen. That's a right to a jury trial. That's all those different things. That's not true for due process for someone who's not a citizen of the United States. It's a different process. It's often just literally what people call an immigration judge is not a typical federal judge or a state judge. This is someone that's in the bureaucracy, that their task for DHS is that task on it. So they're a government employee career. That's an immigration judge. So it's a very different process for it. But yes, there's a need to be able to give an opportunity for someone to be able to make an argument before they're removed in the country.
Now, Senator Langford, I know the phrase due process is apparently 50% of Washington, D.C.'s vocabulary right now, but it's quite interesting to me because the same people who are now apoplectic and melting down over due process for, I don't know, convicted rapists, illegal aliens, yet where were you guys on calling for due process for, I don't know, how many millions of Americans who were censored? From every big tech platform, government coordinated, might I add? I would agree. America is in need of due process for people like, I don't know, the Jan Sixers, people like Stephen K. Bannon, people who protested outside abortion clinics and prayed the rosary. Yeah, they probably need some due process. As far as I'm concerned, all illegal aliens need is processing. It's sort of like to me when you hear them euphemize, what is it? You know, the mutilation of young children, right? It's not gender affirming care, right? That's the sort of whitewashed PR term that they use to make it more salient among the masses. Yeah, due process is what? Essentially, I guess, just the whitewashing euphemism for saying, hey, I don't think we're allowed to deport a bunch of people who essentially invaded this country. Last time I checked, have you ever heard these people call for, I don't know, due process for Ukrainians to kill Russians? Due process for Russians? No, because to them, that's an invasion. So, you know, whatever, do what you want. But what happened to this country under Joe Biden apparently is not as bad. It didn't reach the level of invasion. So they now are, I guess, bestowed due process.
So as we kind of get into that one, I want to show you the lack of due process that is afforded even on the social media area. So I'm going to kind of give you a closer viewpoint. This is if you tried to search for me. I'm just going to give you an example. I have shared this with the FBI. These are ones that I have. This is on Twitter. So, and I still call it Twitter. These are the ones that I've had to actually block. Look at all of the Scott Youngs that are out there. And I've looked them up. These are all the people that fake my account. Tell me that I'm getting any level of due process. Do we stop? And they're just they keep going. I block. I said I can't even find them all when I keep going every time. And then here's one of the funniest things. When you block them and then you report, I can only report a certain number of them. Okay? You could do this with, let's bring up TikTok. I had 34,000 followers. I had millions and millions of views. And up until I think it was in 24, I got permanent banned. On Thursday, I found out about it. On Saturday, I got on a new account, loaded up 3 of the most vanilla videos, a 4th just on the Nassara thing that they were all upset about. And 1 hour later, permanent banned on that account, right? Watch this. We'll do the same kind of thing. I'm not even on TikTok. I do have a blanked out account. Look at every one of these. None of these are me. Not one of these are me. Do I get due process from the FBI, from the DOJ, from any one of them? They're faking me left and right. See, here's one where they use like, fake 17th letter, but it's under Scott Young. if you looked them up. They're all using my name, my face, my pictures. They're utilizing my videos. See, watch this. If we click on any one of these, right? They're utilizing, it's hard to kind of do that here. It's loading it still. Let's come back here. I have to load, like I was trying to load up one here. These are my videos. These are the original videos that I did. This is like they pulled a video from something else that I did, right? These are all videos. I mean, now these are different videos that they pulled, right? These are videos that I do. This is an original video from YouTube, which is fine when they kind of do some of that. Look at this. Go back to another one. So they have different ones out there, which is fine again, but this one is from the original one that I would have put up on the channel. Now, if I was so bad of a personality, such a bad person, how come I was banned from the channel? Right? Let's show you something else. And I can't even show you all of the ones out there. Sorry, I'm not able to bring this up here real simply here. I gotta stop the screen and then present it again here. Share the screen. Takes me a second. So this is just a very simple view of the Dr. Scott, just ones that are faking me left and right. I could do you guys could do it over and over again. And what are they doing? What are they trying to accomplish here in the fake? They're trying to get you to buy, tens of thousands of dollars of QFS. And I get asked this all the time. And first off, the quantum financial system is already set up for you. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to set it up. Do not ask me if you need to set up a QFS account. Do not set up your QFS account in a wallet. Do not do it. Am I clear? Does that make sense? Am I kind of clear? Mostly clear? And then people spend tens of thousands of dollars in those wallets. And I'm telling you this right now, you lost every single dollar you put in there. You'll never gain it back in forever. So there are hundreds of thousands of dollars under my name. And if you put out Patriot Street Fighter, Michelle Moore, and list out tons of other people, Mark Z, and any one of my friends that I know and I could tell you about, that's millions of dollars. How come anyone, and I'm calling every one of you out, Kash Patel of FBI, Pam Bondi of the AG department, anyone in the DOJ, anyone in any one of the areas, and I'm even saying it to President Trump, how come you guys aren't helping us out? How come you aren't calling out the massive scammers who are out there scamming the people and scamming on me? I can't get anyone in any of the areas, the FBI, the local police, no one listens to me. My credit gets stolen once every 3 months. I had 2 credit cards just recently stolen at the same, 2 different credit cards from one company that I had stolen almost at the same time. It took me almost a month to get the new credit cards in. I have accounts that get stolen all the time. I get a full-on attack all the time, and no one is there for due process with that too. Now, I'm not trying to level myself above Steve Bannon, who went to prison for this. I'm not trying to level myself anywhere near the people who went to prison for the sickness of J6. But millions of Americans are going through the same kind of stuff where they spent money that they thought that they were talking to me, and they spent tens of thousands of dollars and they lost it all, and it sickens me. But I didn't do it, and they're blaming me. I didn't do any of that kind of stuff. And why am I not exonerated? Why aren't you been paid back for that kind of stuff? And I'm telling you right now, it's probably a handful of scammers, and they need to be, frankly, be in prison for the rest of their lives. How about that? And we don't have anyone at the FBI, the local polices, or anyone else who are there for us in due process. Stand up for due process. Stand up for us. And share this around, because I'm pissed. And you should be too. Thanks so much.